Hello and welcome. I'm Danielle and I'm a realtor in the Katy and Cypress area, and I help you either find or build your dream home before relocating. If you are ready to make the big move, please message me. I would love to help you out. And if you're not quite there yet, you can also follow over on Instagram, where I post daily information about living in the Houston suburbs. Today I was going to do more of a walking tour and show you everything that there is in Bridgeland, but it is raining and 45 degrees, so this is going to be more of a car tour now. A lot of people love living in Bridgeland, myself included. I personally feel that it is a very family-friendly oriented community, and I love that the schools are some of the highest rated schools in all of Cy-Fair ISD. I absolutely love that my oldest can come home from school and play with his neighborhood friends on the street until dinner time or even in the parks, and that a lot of the kids in Bridgeland know one another because most of the schools are on site. And I know that there are a lot of neighborhoods where this doesn't happen anymore. Not only that, there are a lot of ways to get to know your neighbor within this community. Not only does Bridgeland host a bunch of community events throughout the year, there are also a lot of Facebook groups and interest groups for you to get to know neighbors that have like-minded interests. A lot of our friends that we have met since moving back live right here in the neighborhood. Another reason is that this community is absolutely beautiful. I guarantee you will not be able to find another community within Houston that is built the same way as Bridgeland. It is very easy to take walks through the neighborhood and not feel like you were even in the middle of the city. There are over 60 miles of walking trails, 300 acres of lakes, and over 45 playgrounds and parks, and several amenity centers and pools. In general though, Cypress as a whole is a fairly large city, and you will be able to find everything you need on a daily basis, from grocery stores to Costco, Target, dining and entertainment, and medical will all be within a few minutes drive. What is great about Bridgeland is that eventually each section in the neighborhood is going to have its own commercial area where there will be shops and dining and boutique fitness areas and coffee shops. In fact, that's where I got this coffee today, is in the Lakeland area. Eventually, Bridgeland will also have something called Bridgeland Central, which will be in the center of Bridgeland and will be a very large shopping mall, very similar to the Woodlands. I wouldn't anticipate it for at least a few more years to several years, so don't hold your breath on that coming anytime soon. The market in Bridgeland right now is fairly competitive. In fact, at the time of this recording, in all of Bridgeland, there are currently only 7 resale listings, and a majority of the houses are going for a little bit higher than some of the surrounding neighborhoods. Currently, if you are looking for both a resale home or a new construction home that is over 2,700 square feet, you can plan on paying a base price of anywhere in the mid 500s and up. Also, the property tax in Bridgeland is a little bit higher than average, especially in the new construction areas. You are looking at a property tax rate of about 3.6 to 3.7. Bridgeland, upon completion, is going to have 4 main sections that are going to be very large and very distinct in what they look like. Each section is going to have its own theme, its own style of homes, and its own way of setting up the neighborhoods. Today I'm briefly going to show you the sections that have already been completed so that you can see the distinct differences between different areas of Bridgeland. Starting with Lakeland, this is where you are going to find all the gorgeous established resale homes that will have a slightly lower property tax than some of the new construction in Bridgeland. Homes in this section were built from 2010 to 2017, and you can find anything from a cute 3-bedroom townhome all the way up to beautiful estates in some of the gated sections. You will notice in this section that most of the houses and neighborhoods face outward instead of inward and behind a wall, so it really gives this section a much more open feeling and looks greener, and obviously has a lot of lakes and views since this is the Lakeland section. The next section is Parkland, which began in 2016 and is still going right now. However, there are very limited sections left to build in Parkland. The homes here are a little newer and more modern, with lighter colors and the use of stucco instead of brick more often. The theme of this section was to feel like you are living in a park, so Parkland has a ton of kid-friendly parks and walking areas. And the third section that has begun selling this year in 2022 is Prairieland. This brand new section is going to have a ton of new construction options to choose from if that is what you were looking for. The model home park for this section should be opening soon. The theme of this area is going to be more artful and playful in aesthetic. The last section, which is Creekland, will probably be not open for a few more years as Bridgeland is only building one section at a time. There is still a lot of opportunity for new construction here in Bridgeland. However, at the time of this recording in early 2022, builders are still facing a lot of obstacles like supply chain issues and buyer demand. So even though the new section is open, a lot of the builders are currently limiting the amount of lots they can release, or they are releasing inventory only homes. If you plan to build from the lot all the way to completion, anticipate this year that the build time is going to be at least 7 to 12 months. And if you are looking to see which builders have things available, feel free to message me. I would love to give that information to you. A big selling point to living in Bridgeland is that the schools that are zoned to this neighborhood are highly rated Cy-Fair ISD schools, and that a majority of the schools are on site. The only one that is currently not on site is the middle school. However, they are building it and it should be open by 2023. Something to note though is that the new section Prairieland will be part of Waller ISD, and currently that school district is not as highly rated as Cy-Fair ISD. It is going to take time for the neighborhood to get built up and the property tax to reflect the scores you might see online. However, I don't have any doubt that within a couple of years, the Waller ISD schools will be just as competitive as the Cy-Fair ISD schools within Bridgeland. If your kids are not quite at school age, there are also plenty of preschools and daycares in Bridgeland and around Bridgeland. What I really like about this is a lot of the kids that attend these daycares are in the neighborhood or very close, so a majority of the kids that they go to preschool with, they will also end up going to elementary school with. I hope this has been helpful. If it has, please give it a thumbs up to let myself and YouTube know. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.